Edwin Clark. Thank you for your time with us today.
Thank you very much.
So, Chief, you recently celebrate your 94th birthday. Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you very much. We thank God.
How it feel to be 94 years?
Well, I feel quite happy. Feel grateful to the Almighty God who made it possible for me to attain that age. Give glory to God. And I also feel rather very grateful to those who are looking after me in my house, my household.
And most of those years, Chief, you spend most of those years at the forefront of the fight for the rights of the people, not just the Ijaw people, but the people in the Niger Delta. If you feel describe in 3 words how that experience be, wetin you go talk?
Well, and they say they talk Pidgin English. Well, that's how it be. You know, apart from being Ijaw, I be Robo, I be Chikiri, I be Isoko. So they're talking about Delta. So, also, as an Ijaw man, I be Bayelsa State man. As an Ijaw man, I'm also Rivers. As an Ijaw man, I be just in Akwa Ibom. So I be just in Benin. But my interest is for the South because I've been their leader over the years. So to be frank, later we changed the name into South People's Assembly, and I was still the leader. And I remember I led a 50-man delegation to see President Obasanjo at that time, and we were unable to see him because the chief of staff told us that he was very ill, that he had stomach ache. In fact, we have to ask Reverend Grace Kanem to pray for his quick recovery. In politics, only to be told that in the afternoon, the president was in Ghana doing a different job. So we passed through a lot of things in this country. So since then, I've been the leader.
Yeah. And many would say that you've done a great job.
Not only that, it was that organization that went to Calabar about 2004-05 to say that we wanted a South president. And President Declaration, we call it Calabar Declaration. That made people like governors like Sir Peter Odili, Dr. Peter Odili of Rivers State, Obongata of Akwa Ibom, and Donald Duke of Rivers State, of Cross River. They all wanted to become president of Nigeria. A.K. Hotspur and Admiral Igbe. But the president brought in Raji Yaradua, the governor of Katsina State, and that's how the governors withdrew. So that is the position. So I have been in the forefront in doing this to say that we in the South, which produces majority of the resources for the survival of this country, economic survival of this country, we must have a say. And then the refusal of the majority ethnic group to treat us on equal basis And that is responsible for me being in the forefront of fighting for the interests of my people.
Yeah, and Chief, recently, just because you mentioned the fight to produce a president from the South then, and that is something where the Southern governors don't, again, talk about and don't decide. For recent meeting where they talk about how the next president of Nigeria is supposed to come from the South. You agree with that, their decision?
Oh, yes. Listen, this country we are, now we all get a more. Not be one person, not one group of people. When Lugard signed an agreement bring us together in 1914, he did not say that the North should be senior partner of that amalgamation. The South should be the junior partner, or the North should be the husband, and the South should be the wife. There was nothing like that. It was an equal agreement that you are all equal, come together. That's what happened. But we knew that the British government at that time, and I'm happy that the BBC, were helping the Northerners to dominate the South. And that's where we find ourselves today. But we have been telling them, this cannot continue forever. The first prime minister we have in this country, equivalent to Mr. President, was Alhaji Tafawa Balewa from Bauchi State, Northeast. So when the Northeast people came recently that they have not produced a president of this country, it's a lie. Just to confuse people. After Tafawa Balewa, he runs it from the Southeast. General, when the coup took place in 1966, became the head of state of this country, military head of state, for 6 months. In July, he was overthrown. That was the only time the Southeast people tasted the headship of this country. Take note, when we got independent, before and when we got independence in 1960, there were 3-legged pots. Nigeria was 3-legged pot, standing on 3 legs. The North, the West, and the East. South today was squeezed between the East and the West. The Midwest was under Western Nigeria. Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Rivers were under Eastern region. By then, Biafra had not been created. So what am I saying? These 3-legged pot were the original founders of this country. So when people are talking about 6 states, 6 regions, rotation, no. What I am saying, the Northerners have governed this country militarily and civilly more than any other region of the 3-legged pots. Even when it came to be 4-legged pot, like this table, the North, the West, and the Midwest have tasted power, have produced presidents of this country. Now the question you asked me, why should it be between the North and the South? We have been rotating. Let me tell you this. When Abiola contested the election, in 1973. I'm sorry, 1993 or something like that. What happened? He was from the West, a Muslim. Alhaji Kingibe from Northeast, Borno State, Muslim, was his vice. Nigeria voted for them. So that's what in Nigeria we know. Then there were military governments again in between. When Abacha ruled and he died, and His Excellency Absalom Abubakar ruled for a year and handed over to civilians, they gave it to Chief Obasanjo from the West. When Obasanjo finished, he came to Yaradua from the North. He could not finish his term in office before he died. Very nice fellow. Then Jonathan took over as president of Nigeria from the South. But what am I trying to say? You asked the question. It has been between the North and the South.
And you think it's time?
And now that Buhari has got it, let me say this to you. Who are they deceiving? Who is deceiving who in this country? Who is fooling who? When APC was formed by various political parties, it was zoned to the North. And those who contested the election, presidential election, were all from the North. Were there no people from the South? Who are they deceiving that it was not zoned? Zoning is not in their constitution. There are things that are conventional. The British people have no written constitution. Yet, they are among the most effective democracy in this world. Convention is as good as law, written law. It was agreed that power should rotate between the North and the South.
Okay, Chief. You've clearly stated.
So now what we are saying
that it should come back to the South.
It should go to the South now that Buhari has ruled for 8 years.
And his administration is
in 2023.
Okay, Chief. So let's talk about something else where the Southern governors also talk about from wetin happened for the National Assembly, the Senate and the House of Reps on the PIB bill. But the Southern governors reject the 3% revenue for host communities where they produce oil. Say no, they enough, saying 5% they want. You support their decision?
Well, 100%. I support their decision. Even when they said they were ready to accept 5%, I disagree with them. We want 10%. 10% equity of the allocation. Equity shares of the company. We want to be part of the oil industry. The northerners who are today having all the oil blocks, who are the owners of the oil industry, who maintain, control it, they don't produce any oil. Not a pint of oil. They don't. Most of them who benefit from this oil, they don't know what crude oil looks like. For the people, for instance, in 2005, when we had the same problem at the political conference, reform conference held in Abuja here, at the International Conference Center. I was the leader of the South. This same issue came up. We produced a paper at that conference, and one of it was that to show who are people benefiting from the oil we have without contributing a kobo to the economy of the country by form of oil production. And we discovered that North Central, to get about 48 billion naira yearly, but they don't contribute a kobo to the revenue of Nigeria, Federation account, apart from what is produced, other charges, custom, and so on. We're talking about oil and gas. Northwest, they took about 49% billions. They don't contribute a kobo. Northeast, they took about 45%. They didn't contribute anything. Southwest, they took away about 49 billion naira a year. They contributed less than 4%. In Ondo, where the Ijaws and the largest are, at the water side of Ondo. Then the southeast, between Imbo and Abia, they contributed about 2.5% at that time. And they got only 35 billion naira. Whereas the south, plus the 13%, we got about 140% billion. How much did we contribute? More than 91.5% to the coffer. Year to day, we are the poorest. Have you ever seen where wealth is produced in your backyard and you are the poorest? You are the most neglected. Those who benefit from the oil come from other areas. Today, the oil flows through my backyard. If I want something benefit from it, I have to travel to Dar to meet Mr. President Muhammad Buhari. Can I benefit from this oil? We say yes, provided you are APC member, or is there any Fulani or director in your company. This may be the condition he will give me. What type of country do we belong to?
Okay, Chief, we could talk about some other national issues now.
No, but are you now satisfied that I'm not finished? So when you say you want to give us 3%, you want to give us 5%, the original bill was 10% produced by the executive in 2010. Now you're cutting it down. Then you want to spend 30% on exploration of oil. When Shell and other companies came to exploit oil for oil in Nigeria, they did so with their own money. The federal government did not contribute to it. The regional government did not contribute to it, because they are private companies looking for money. Anyone who believes that they want to exploit for oil in the north, in the south, they should spend their own money. Not money got from the south, from oil. In fact, the government, when they submitted their bill to the National Assembly, they only provided 10% for 10%. It is in the Senate and the House. They manipulated it to 30%.
Okay, Chief.
So the whole bill is obnoxious.
Okay. Let's talk about some other national issues
Okay,
now.
go
Make we
ahead.
talk about insecurity, because that now one big issue where Nigeria they battle with, from the southeast, where you see attacks on police formations and police officers and security officers to the south, where we have the sea issues of kidnapping, southwest, farmers, herders, clashes, northwest, the issues of banditry and kidnappings, and the southeast where Boko Haram is seen a big problem. How you go assess the response of the federal and state government to tackle all these issues?
Which issues?
Of insecurity.
Insecurity is a national issue that is actually eating into the fabric of this nation. And if we do not take time, we will have no country to show for it. So it is not a matter for political parties, not a matter for the executive alone, not a matter for National Assembly. It's a matter for all citizens of Nigeria. But unfortunately, power is in the hand of the executive at the National Assembly. All we are saying, provide enough material for our soldiers to fight. We have fought in other countries. We have fought in the Congo. We even fought in Europe, in Pakistan, in Asia. We fought in Africa, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Congo. Why today, the Nigerian soldiers that are held very high in other parts of the world, today we cannot even conquer Boko Haram for 13 years, going to 20 years now. So it's a shame to all of us. It's an embarrassment to all of us. But unfortunately, the federal government is not taking this matter serious enough. Provide money. This is the time when extra budgetary should be made for the war. But unfortunately, those who are commanding those armies, those forces in those times, most of them were regarded not being clean, not being transparent. So the amount voted to buy weapons and so on, in most cases, they bought expired products from Eastern Europe, Ukraine and other places. And again, the ambassadors, you remember the case whereby a general sent soldiers to carry 400 and something billion naira in a vehicle. And they were caught. What did they do to the general? What type of punishment did they give to him? So they have been stealing our money. For instance, let me say this. Priority should be given to serious fighting against these people. But the chief of army staff, Buratai, was building a university in his place, built with federal money, with the army, with the military army, money meant to fight the war. If I can challenge them, let them show in any of the budgets whether, listen, let them show whether in any of the budgets there was any allocation for the building of an army university when NDA is there, when other places that trainings are there. So this is how they wasted our money. So what do you want to ask?
Yes, Chief, I just you want to talk, say the former Chief of Army Staff go get something to say about the accusation to defend himself, say no be money. If he talk, say no be money where they meant for the army or
where did he get the money from?
Nine, they take build that.
Where did he get the money from? Where is it personal money? Is it extra budget from the federal government? This is a country where using double standards. I do not think a chief of army staff from the south will have the impunity to build a university in his hometown without being queried. So this is where they spent our money. Secondly, there's no better understanding between the military heads, the Air Force commander and the Chief of Army Staff. During that time, they never understood themselves, to the extent that each was following his own way. I'm 94. I see. I was a part of this government before, when Nigerian government, but when you were not yet born.
Make we talk about some other issues now, Chief. Make I just ask this a question. What do you think about Ipob, their leader, and their agitation to come out from Nigeria?
They are very unrealistic boys. They are not. Ipob, to me, is not pursuing the right thing. When this war was fought, I told the Ipob leader, he was not born at the time.
You don't meet Nnamdi Kanu before, Chief?
I've never met him, but I've challenged him, and he has also challenged me that I was a slave of the North. That's why he branded me. I told him he has a good fight, that we are being neglected. The youths of the East have been neglected. The people of the East have been neglected. They have only 5 seats, whereas other regions have 6. One, in fact, had 7. Based on what? Nobody knows. So for every appointment that's been made in this country, the Igbos are shortchanged. If you are distributing universities per state, they will have 5 states, 5 universities. South-South will have 6. Southwest will have 6. Northwest will have 7. But the Igbos formed the 3rd leg of this country when this country was created. So they had a good fight, they have a good problem. They complain, but not the way they are going about it. You want to create Biafra state. We fought a war. You want to fight another one again? The Igbos are the most progressive people in Nigeria today. They're found in everywhere. Since I was young, the blacksmith was from Oka. So I would sit by them when they are making their fire. But Kanu has never asked himself, if you bring all the Igbos scattered all over this country, where in the southeast can accommodate them?
So you support wetin President Muhammadu Buhari talk?
That
say
what?
Ipob na dots in circle, they no fit exist anywhere.
No. Ipob as a body has a good fight. They should have a good fight. But when they say they want to create another country, that's where I disagree with them. Listen, in 1970, when General Yakubu Gowon was the head of state and the war was over, I went with my governor, Brigadier Esro Gbumudia, to congratulate him. And he said, no, don't congratulate me. This is a family war. It's all over. No victor, no vanquish. I have 3 policies of reconstruction, rehabilitation, reconciliation. Go and help. And we did, and we helped. Even though our state was invaded at that time, without any justification. But what have we? He was overthrown in July 1975, so he could not carry out any of these jobs. But we have decided to live together But if there is any problem, there's a legitimate way of fighting it. Not that you want to live and you want Delta to be part of a Biafra state, you want the rivers. Where?
So you don't think, say, the South, they part of that map? Because this is something we talk over and over again.
Those are useless.
Say if they come out,
what is it?
Delta, they part of Biafra.
How can Delta be part of Biafra? In what way? Is Biafra older than Delta? Are they bigger than Delta? How can River State become part of Biafra? No, or Akwa Ibom. They are dreaming, thinking about the eastern region of those days, or pre-independent, the time states were created. So, he's a young man. But let me say this before I finish about Ipob. I hope the federal government will give him a fair and decent trial, open trial. Because I do not understand up to today how the federal government got him back into Nigeria. We remember the days of Omar Diko when he was being created in a big box to be kidnapped to Nigeria. I don't know how this young man was brought back to Nigeria. There are legitimate ways of doing it, legal ways of doing it, by extradition. Where he is, there will be court session to determine whether he committed a political offense or a criminal offense. That will determine whether it will be brought back or not. I do not think these were followed. And I think that the Kenyan government has a duty to tell us, is this boy lying? Was he in Kenya for 8 days with British passport?
But the Kenyan government don't deny, say they know.
No. The man said, I was abducted from Kenya. The man who was saying they were playing politics. During the trial, we will now hear this. Kanu should be made to make a statement to the public. But I do not agree with him, the way he's fighting the fight. You are just killing your people. You must listen to people. You must belong to a decent society. That's the way I disagree with it.
Yeah, President Muhammadu Buhari talk for one recent interview, say he get assurance from the elders from the South, and also the youth, say South don't get any intention to talk about separation from Nigeria. You be one of those elders we believe in no separation.
I'm not a question of being an elder. I'm the leader of the Ijaws. The INC he was referring to, the Ijaw National Congress, where the president led his newly elected executive to. I am the chairman of the board of trustees of that organization. The judge did not give Buhari any assurance. All they were saying is that we are part of this country. We are not breaking away from Nigeria. We are part of this country. We have no reason to secede, provided we will belong to a country where all of us are equal. Provided our area will be developed. Provided we will be allowed to participate in the oil industry in our home. This is what they said. So to quote them out of context It's unfair and unpatriotic.
So, Chief, you dey talk say make we not rule out in the nearest future South also coming up with a position say then they marginalized and they won't come out from.
We are not saying that. Who owns this country? Come out for who? Who owns this country? That I should now pack and go to where? We will fight for our rights here. And we are saying that they should mind their ways of doing things. When we got to the stage of taking our destiny into our own hands, you will know what we want, what we will do. I have said this several times. One day it may happen if nobody listens to us. If we are strangers in our own homes, where we have been exploited, where oil benefits of oil that is produced in our backyard, we don't benefit from it. We don't lift oil. We have no oil blocks. Even ordinary marginal oil fields, which are behind our houses. We apply for them, they won't give us. What have we done? At least as I sit down here and I have names of 23 senior managers of NNPC. They are from the north. We have nobody. When you talk about GMD, since Gayot Obaseki retired or left, he's from South. All the GMD from that time, well, apart from Kokoloku, from Southwest, and Kachuku of recent for 2 years or 1 year, where he was floating as a GMD, because Buhari had been holding that portfolio of Minister of Petroleum. So, what am I saying? We have been marginalized enough. We have been oppressed enough. We cannot continue. So that's why I'm saying, even look at the NDDC. The failure of NDDC today is not from our own people. They are using our people. We know where the money goes to. Enough is enough. We are not going to leave Nigeria for anybody, but we want our conditions to be met. If they are not met, we'll take our destiny into our own hands.
Finally, Chief, you talk say you know they against the fight of Nnamdi Kanu na in ways na the way he go about and you know they comfortable with. If you get the opportunity to see Nnamdi Kanu now, wetin you go tell him?
I will tell him, my son, you did not meet the war, the civil war you are talking about. Your mother was pregnant. And when the war broke out in 1967, they left their home. Your mother born you for another place. You were 2 years old when the war ended. So, there have been people who are holding good positions in Nigeria too. But what we are saying is that it's not enough. They have been cheated compared with others. So when you come, fight for that battle. Either politically, go and vote for your own people. Not to wake up one day and say, I stop people from moving around. I will create my own army. No! I will take it gently. You are a Nigerian. You are fighting for the cause of your people, but not the way you are going. Take it easy, legitimately, and in a civilized way. That is the advice I'll give to you.
Chief Edwin Clark, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.